Sit back and enjoy our international press review coming up now. A roundup of all the world's news from Catherine Norris-Trent, who's here to start with.
Well, today we're starting with a big story that's dominating a lot of the world's press, and that, of course, is the International Criminal Court's decision to issue an arrest warrant for Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir. Sudanese newspaper going straight to the country itself. They've got a pro-Bashir, pro-government newspaper, the Raed. They dedicate their whole front page, indeed their whole issue, their whole edition today to that arrest warrant, and they are pro-government. They are really anti the arrest warrant. So they've got a photo there of President al-Bashir along with two vice presidents, saying the presidency reaffirms its commitment to peace and democracy and refutes this arrest warrant. And elsewhere on the front page, they've got lots of groups coming forward with press releases saying, this is no good, the president's done nothing wrong, and the ICC's move is colonialisation. That word is peppered throughout the paper, basically saying the West is up to its old tricks.
Of course, this all relates to Darfur, 300,000 deaths since 2003, so it's interesting to hear the paper saying that there's been no wrong done. So there you go.
Absolutely, and if
but they'd say I was just being a Western colonialist, wouldn't they, I suppose, saying that?
And also they'd say that about the French newspaper Libération, because let's contrast their front page, very different story. It's basically a big wanted poster for President Bashir there. So that kind of reflects a lot of the coverage in the West, which is very critical, very negative, highlighting human rights abuses in Darfur. The UK newspaper The Guardian, they devote a double page spread to the story. And among their coverage, they've got an account from an ex-Sudanese army soldier, a deserter in fact, who said he was ordered by his superiors to go out there to kill, to rape, to pillage and leave no one alive. So it's a very harrowing article. And it's an account from someone, and he says that the army worked alongside the Arab Janjaweed militias, which we heard about during the Darfur conflict as well.
OK. Let's move on to China and Tibet and an important anniversary.
Yeah, coming up on the 10th of March, so very soon. It's a 50-year anniversary of an uprising in Tibet, which was crushed then. And of course, this time last year, we saw big protests in Tibet, pro-independence protests, and people are on the watch out to see what's going to happen this year. Now, in the Chinese English language newspaper, the China Daily, they've got a very aggressively worded article, a letter to the West, in fact. You can see the headline there. Wrong stance on Tibet will hinder ties with China. And basically it's warning the West that don't put too much pressure on us over Tibet if you want good relations with us. And obviously China very economically powerful, so that's quite an important threat.
Obviously, Nicolas Sarkozy choosing to meet the Dalai Lama didn't go down well at all, did it? Fidel Castro, the man who's done wonders for a certain sports brand in their tracksuits.
Well, there's another photo of him wearing an Adidas tracksuit, you're right there, and this is in Spanish newspaper El País. They've got a picture of Fidel Castro with the president of the Dominican Republic, Leonel Fernandez, during a recent state visit. He went to Cuba. And basically, it's another one of these photos to prove that Fidel is still up and running. And apparently, according to the president of the Dominican Republic, Fidel was speaking with an energetic voice and was extremely lucid. So, according to him, still some time to go. But just on his dress sense there, he's always pictured in these tracksuits. A big contrast to another man who's making a lot of news today. In the British newspaper, the Daily Mail, they have this story that Prince Charles, Britain's own Prince Charles, has been voted the most fashionable man in the world, according to Esquire magazine.
And there he is.
There he is in all his glory. We can see different outfits there, lots of suits. He's been praised for his sharp tailoring, his classic style. Also, he's ventured out in a kilt there.
It seems strange that he's the most fashionable. It's not fashionable, it's just classic, isn't it?
It wouldn't have occurred to me, but apparently he's been praised for sticking to the same style for more than 4 decades, not trying to be on trend, but going for classic tailoring. And he beat US President Barack Obama. He came in 4th in that poll, would you believe?
Well, there we go. Catherine, as you pointed out, I wasn't in it, but that's just
Stick
the way the cookie
tailoring
crumbles, and I'll take Prince Charles's advice then. Thank you. That was the International Press Review. You're watching for our Cat. Stay with us. So what?